Okay, so next session and the last panel of the day is, can India's soft power steal the world's heart? Yes, it's India's turn. This is a particularly customized session that we have made for this, and ladies and gentlemen, trust us, we have done good enough research and good enough scouting to have a pretty good and decent panel in front of you, so that you can take the outcomes of this discussion, which is resonating with the broader theme. So for this session, we have Mr. Sean Kaneworthy, eminent chef, restaurateur of Kolkata. Mr. Aniruddha Roy Choudhury, he is Indian film director. He is coming all the way from Mumbai. Miss Anuparna Roy, again Indian film director and screenwriter. They will be in conversation with Mr. Sumit Dasgupta, founder All Cap Communications Private Limited. So can we have them on stage, please? Yes.
Can I take the corner? It will be easy for me.
Mr. Roy Choudhury? Ms. Roy, if you could kindly take the stage. Can we have Mr. Kaneworthy, please? No, Sean is here. I mean, rest assured, he's here. He's just coming. He's not in the hall. All right. So, no, Mr. Dasgupta prefers once Sean is in the stage, then he will start.
You can start. I'll wait till Sean.
Okay, I have already announced.
Okay.
So this session is for about 30 minutes. We'll ring a bell 5 minutes early. That's about it. Nothing more to add from my end. Mr. Chatterjee, welcome. Just to let you know, we are running a little behind schedule since morning. Apologies for that. So you are just straight after this session, the valedictory address. Please carry on, sir.
And then we'll field questions from the audience. Depending on, there won't be time. Okay. 30 minutes. Okay. So, quickly plunging into it. I guess economics, politics, military, all these vital aspects have been touched upon. And now for the finale session, we can move away from Excel sheets into emotions, from fintech to feelings, as seizing opportunities gently gives way to stealing hearts. So here we are to discuss not whether Indian soft power can steal hearts, but how. And Mr. Larry had said that I should set the context for it and just not moderate. So while we were waiting at the ITC room, I was specifically asked, what is soft power? So I'll just fall back on the formal definition by Joseph Nye, the political scientist who passed away this year. And I quote, he said, "I coined the term soft power in my book, Bound to Lead. Soft power is the ability to obtain preferred outcomes by attraction and persuasion rather than coercion or payment. So beyond military might and economic power is soft power. So that directly leads us into the realm of creative economy, which is the catchphrase today kind of thing. And I see my friend Debanjan, who's a subject matter expert on it. So now actually creative economy is pivotal to shaping soft power. And as Prime Minister Modi has been using forums like the G20 and the Waves to emphasize the importance of creative economy. And again, as I quote, he said that in creative economy is one of 21st century's most powerful engines of global influence. That sets the tone for today, because in terms of creative economy, we have two vital pillars, which are fine arts and food, which set the context for today's discussion. And Aniruddha Roy Choudhury, I can't refer to him as Aniruddha. He's Tony to all of us. So Tony uses his films as soft power to reach out to a larger audience, and specifically women, from Baliganj to Boston. And Anuparna has made an unforgettable statement with her film, which has created waves. And Sean, of course, he's chosen Calcutta over London and found love here. I don't know in which order, whether you fell in love with Park Street first or Pinky first, but you stayed on. And and food unites all of them. Tony, I'll start with Sean. Obviously, he creates, curates, and feeds people. Anuparna, while shooting her film, actually used to feed her whole crew, cook for her whole crew and feed them, and often used to forget to eat herself. Whoever knows Tony knows that he loves his food, he loves to feed people, but he'll never forget to eat himself. So, to start off with food, I'm throwing one common question to each of the panelists. If you were to take one food item or dish from Bengal, which you feel has the soft power to win hearts globally, what would it be and why? Anuparna, you want to go first?
It's aloo posto.
Okay. Why? Why? Just.
I mean, yeah, it's been ages. I'm only eating poppy seeds
Okay.
with potato. Sometimes it's lauki, tomato and whatnot, and it's all tastes good. I mean, I like it. It is in all forms. Actually.
And you are a vegetarian.
And I'm vegetarian.
Right. Sean, your dish of choice?
Such a tough question. So I think all the my favorite Bengali dishes are all vegetarian, actually. So that makes me a bit of a stick in the mud. But I think something that can travel the world quite easily is a kati roll. I think anything that you can hold in your hand is a vehicle to stuff with practically anything. I mean, even if it was a double-egg chicken roll with some avocado in there and some, for instance, I mean, it's just a great vehicle. I think it is something that could win hearts pretty much everywhere, really. But if we're talking about my favorite food in Bengal, then all the vegetarian things like doi potol, I love shukto. I mean, yeah, all those kind of like that.
Tony, have they left anything for you?
That makes me a good jam.
Okay. Yeah.
Winter time, গুড়ের সময় যাকে বলে নলেন গুড়. Everybody knows নলেন গুড়, and this is a real story. Somebody in Paris told me, have you tried this chocolate mousse and this lemon tart, best in the world? So I fought with her. I told, come to Kolkata, have gur ka sandesh or chitoi pot pithe and puli pithe. Only thing we lack that packaging, We'll pack it up properly and serve you. Nijer namo bhule jabe. You'll forget your name. This is so delicious. Trust me if you try. Some Sandesh and pithes from this part of the world. It's outstanding, and local is the new global. Everybody wants to have local things, which is becoming slowly global. Food, cinema, literature, everything. Clothings. So, as far as I am concerned, chitoi pithe and puli pithe. Guder.
Done. We've got quite an array here. Tony, I'd like you to start by looking at today's topic, and through your professional and personal lens, how do you look at this topic of soft power winning hearts globally?
See, I'll tell you a story right now. She's sitting beside me. I told you local is the new global. If the emotion is right and true and non-fake, not like Insta, everything we show that we have arrived, everything is good, everything is first class, everything is private jet, and life is not like that. Not half, 90% time is struggle and difficulties, you know. So my wife was watching her speech after she got the award in Venice, and she was crying. She told me, "Ato shundor bollo, chokhe jol eshe gelo." That is soft power. You have to be true to your emotions. You have to be true to your work. I can't imitate anything. What I feel, I'll show you. It's something like a breeze happening, and a piece of paper starts floating. It happens. You can't make it happen. And there is nothing untrue in that. That is soft power. You have to tell your own story. I can't tell your story. I have to feel it. I have to realize it. In Bangla, there is a word called Attosto. Internalize. If I do that, I become pregnant with a story. I die to give birth of that story, and half the time it doesn't work. And the story dies because I want to know, it's like a baby, you know. My baby will become a Sachin Tendulkar or Aishwarya Rai, or somebody who will have 100 billion, and the thought dies. So soft power is something which stays with you, which you want to talk to people. It might work, might not work, but it has to be very true. And there are it will take a lot of time to give examples that, because the way I cry, a person in Sweden cries like that. A person in Bakura cries like that. A person in Telangana cries like that. And soft power has to be supported, has to be patronized, like art has to be patronized. I am sure that Sistine Chapel jakon hoche, people didn't talk about ROI. Or when Tansen was singing Miyaki Mallar, Akbar didn't say, "Kitna paisa milega isse?" Now we have a tag, you have to do 100 crores, 1,000 crores. Life is not like that. I want to make a film here. I want to tell a story. It might make money. It might not make money. It might make 10%. We were happy with that. Previously, we used to talk about a good film, a good art, a good book, a good poetry. Now, we talk about only good money. I wanted to have a car. After a long time, I wanted to have a car which is easy. Now, you need a big name. So what is important, the journey or the tag? To me, journey is important, and soft power is all about true journey, which I want to share with my audience. If I am wrong, but I am true. That's it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Anuparna, from your experiences, especially at Venice, how do you see this of soft power reaching out to a global audience and melting hearts?
Hi everybody. Definitely, I mean, talking about soft power, the kind of experience I have had in Venice, it was amazing because for the very first time I realized that, you know, you write a story and people are resonating with it beyond border, beyond culture and beyond language. That's where I realized that art has something. I mean, art has this power of make people laugh, cry, and you know, make people feel the way they want to. So for me, it is definitely a powerful and influential tool, I would say. And I believe that we have to practice and demonstrate humanity, tolerance, to reach or to reach this soft power to some level where people, you know, can definitely generate more art and more, you know, culture, and openness shall, you know, come through art and culture. So I believe it was an amazing experience for me, and I'm still learning You know, I'm very young, and it's a very first panel of mine, so I'm very nervous. But yeah, talking about soft power always reminds me the kind of audience I have had in Venice. They all cried with the characters. They all laughed with the characters, and they gave this nation, India. You know, I was representing my country there, and they gave us a space to discuss about my culture, which I think I tried my best, and yeah, the impact is amazing. Yeah.
Sean, how do you look at the topic?
So I think a lot of people misconstrue being a chef, being an artist, being a musician. I mean, we're all part of the same creative industry, really. Whichever way you look at that, really. I mean, we're very much part of a creative industry. You have to learn your trade within our industry. We have to earn our stripes to become better in our industry. And we have to constantly keep thriving to be creative, to keep audiences interested and excited and engaged. And I think that goes for any art form, really. So I'm guessing whatever you've been speaking about today, all the people that are involved in all of this need this outlet, whether it be music, whether it be film, whether it be theatre, whether it be restaurants, but everybody needs that outlet, really. I mean, it's much more important. Obviously, commerce is very important, but I think everything else around us, what people need to do just to get away from that day-to-day grind of doing business and thinking about ROIs, etc. I think that creative process is much more important than any of this, really, in everybody's life. I think that reaches out to anybody in the world, realistically. Everybody needs some sort of creative outlet, whether they're just going to watch a movie or something, but everybody needs that, really, just to get away from the doldrums of life, I think. And like I say, I don't think it matters whether you're a chef, whether you're an artist, musician. I think it's something that everybody has their favourite part of all of that, really. And I think, like I say, that creative process is by far the most important thing. And being creative and constantly wanting to be creative and keeping people engaged and excited is, I think, the key to all of it.
Absolutely. Tony, one has been witness, I'll take liberties of knowing you as a friend. There have been instances of literally your films having an impact on audiences across the world. And I know of people who reached out to you, often in distress, in emotional distress. People you've never known. They've watched your film and reached out to you emotionally. So if you can take us through a few of those things, which actually is about soft power stealing hearts.
So, soft power is the actual power, you know. Is soft. Does pink means Barbie and fragile and vulnerable? No. Pink is the color of strength. Same, soft is the new, you know, a rose has more power than a gun. Someday it will be proved. If a story or if an incident in a film or in a poetry or in a prose connects somebody, like music, it works. I can share something with, after I released Antohin, I can be frank, right? So I got a huge, detailed email in 2009 from somebody in Bangladesh. So she told me, it was a little bit closed country that point of time. People didn't used to open up about their emotional and physical bondings with male. So this woman, she she emailed me that she was with her boyfriend for a long time, for the entire night. She came back home at 7:30. Throughout the night, they had a beautiful relationship, and they saw a pirated version of Antohin and heard the songs. Now, in the film, Rahul Bose dies, Radhika Apte dies. So her question to me was, are they going to, because there was a song which called Ferrari Moon, and the line was, কথা ছিল হেঁটে যাব ছায়াপথ. We thought of walking on the Milky Way someday. So she told me, I came back home at 7:30 a.m. in the morning and a news came that he is dead. He had a heart attack and he died. So should I kill myself so that I meet him somewhere up and we will walk on the Milky Way? I wrote to her, please give me your number. I want to talk to you. And I spoke to her almost for a month every day that this is a film. I don't know whether they will meet, Radhika and Rahul will meet up somewhere. But this is a film, don't get influenced, be emotional, but don't do this drastic, step. Don't kill yourself. This is wrong. This is negative thinking. Don't do that. And I had to talk to her every day. Now she's working well in UNICEF, and she told me what I had gone through, and you saved my life. I told her, I didn't save your life. You had a right connection with the emotion. And that was an outburst. So it can happen. So that is the power of a film. There are so many films. I was shooting a short film in California, Sausalito. So I saw 3 Mexican men. They were playing guitar with a small dog on their lap. So I went to him, one of those guys. I have got his photo in my Instagram also. So I told him, can I take a photo of yours? Can I picturize you? Can I shoot you? Are you from India? Yes. Oh, you're from the land of Ray. I left my home 30 years back after I watched Operajitu. I saw a pond where Sharmila dies. Life begins there and life ends there. So I wanted to know the meaning of life and I left home. So somebody in 2015 talking to me about a creation done by Satyajit Ray and what has impacted in his life. This is the power of soft power, or films, or anything, or a painting.
Absolutely. Anuparna, any emotional response to your film, from maybe an unexpected emotional response to your film when you were in Venice? Anything you would like to share?
Yeah, just after Venice. Venice, we had amazing, encounter of the audiences about their emotional journey. But I remember one which happened in London just after Venice. A woman, came to me and she just told me that I felt the film and I also had a friend whom I lost. I think the film is all about friends who got lost. And I'm like, do you like the film? And she's like, I loved the film and it reminded me of her. So such kind of resonance I'm talking about when it is soft power. I feel like, okay, the film really reached somewhere. If it is, someone can resonate with and coming and telling me their experiences about a lost friend. She never could encounter her, ever. And now she want to. So she said that I divorced my husband and I will never search her. And it made me feel numb for quite a few minutes. And I'm like, okay, that's how people find love, through, soft power. And I felt that it is a big responsibility when it comes to making cinema, I guess. And I'm a big fan of Pink. And I just shared one of my experiences with Sir, that the reason of watching Pink was an incident which was very, very traumatizing, that happened with me and 2 of my friends in Delhi. And the moment we watched Pink, we all cried. So I guess I have, managed to answer this. It is really emotional for me to, whenever I talk about the audiences, they showed us a lot of love. That's how we relate with the filmmakers and their creative and their, creation, actually. So, yeah.
Absolutely. I'll just take a minute to plug the book for Sean. Sean has just come out with this book which captures his life, and 90% of it is Calcutta. It's curry, chaos and romance. So among curry, chaos and romance, Sean, which do you think is the most potent soft power that can win hearts?
So, since I launched this, so many journalists saying to me, "Oh, the romantic story about you and your wife." And I said, "My wife's actually primarily the chaos part of my book. Actually, the romance is the city and my love for the city. I think more than anything, and it's just such a romantic city." But I think coming back to what we're discussing, I think I'm incredibly blessed. I think in many ways to live in this industry, where I've also not had a job for 17 years. I've not had a job, really. And I get invited to do lots of interesting, curated special events and dinners and things where, again, a lot of it's based on emotion, really. And I love to have these discussions with people where it's kind of like somebody's approached me, they want to book something, and I'll say, but are there any stories you'd like me to tell within that dinner, really? And we have this incredible system in our heads called the olfactory system. And it's great to pull out kind of like memories of parts of people's lives that they've almost forgotten, really. But you can do that with food, and I think that's an incredibly special, exciting thing about food. And I'm forever hearing, obviously, from Bengali friends that live overseas, and obviously Bengalis that live here, really. I mean, the attachment and the emotional attachment to food is like so strong, I think. And people, and I also have this conversation that I've kind of like stood at the same table and had the best and worst people in front of me discussing food very excitedly and almost with a tear in their eye, actually, that something brought back a memory. And they might have been arguing with each other 5 minutes ago. And I've also had guests on the same table that hated a dish, one person, and the other person is raving about something. So again, I think there's something that we all have in our heads, really. We all have ideas of what we like, what we don't like, but to pull out an emotion of somebody where maybe they thought they didn't like something, but suddenly a youthful emotion has come back when they're eating something. And I like to play on those kind of things. It's something always very special. Curry, chaos, romance. The romance is definitely Calcutta, for sure.
But I'll come to you. You use this term responsibility, especially after the success of your first film. Going forward, do you see any pressure of feeling a responsibility that this will represent India, my films will represent my country, or do you give free rein to your creative urges and say that is secondary? How do you look at it?
Yeah, to deal with it, to be very honest, talking about miseries of this country will not make me feel less Indian, right? So that one thing I'm taking, I will talk about everything which has happened in India, you know, through the point of view of the marginalized people. And I don't think so I'm making something very commercial at this moment. That one thing I will never do. I feel the responsibility was already there before even Venice. When I was making this film, I was very much into it that I'm going to talk about two women and their intimacy, though the topic was forbidden in India. But I felt like that it's my responsibility to talk about something which I've been watching, you know, in my own maternal house. When I found that my grandmother was too much attached with her own stepdaughter, both were at the same age, both were raising the whole family without any male, like 6 women running a family. So for me, it was not just a daughter and mother and daughter relationship. For me, it was a platonic, more than something casual, right? So the responsibility was already there. I felt that I have to talk about it. I felt that, you know, this is something very natural and it has to be there. Still, I feel the same. I will rather talk about miseries than anything which is romantic, anything which I have not seen or I have not experienced it yet. So I feel the responsibility definitely there. Still, I'll be representing the country. Talking about the miseries will not make me feel less Indian, right? So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, can sure. Floor is yours.
And then one simple question is, listening to you all, I feel that those who have a strong olfactory function, the ability to recognize or blend a good perfume or blend a good tea, is also then must be soft power. But here, unfortunately, I'm asking this question why? Because this software you use for material gains. Because they are very highly paid in industry. Would you therefore say that it still qualifies as soft power? Either?
I think any creative industry is connected to soft power somewhere.
Is that creative, being able to?
Of course.
Oh, of course.
If somebody's creating a perfume, it's a very creative process that your mind is going through. You're thinking about many different factors, I would think, whether it be a sense of something you're in memory or a sense of something that maybe somebody would want to have. I don't think there's any different, really.
He is a tea baron sitting here.
I know, of course.
So,
But I think anything where you're having to use a creative mind and you're having to use your brain and again that olfactory system to create anything, or using your hands. I mean, any of these things really, they're all part of the creative arts, whatever level they are.
thank you.
But there's a small.
May I just intervene 1 minute? And I would like very much to say that. Sean, I think you made an excellent point, because there's a lot of research being done now on the brain, which is trying to make sense of what Marcel Proust said in 1926. He talked about how memory post-war was triggered by the smell of his mother making tea. And he used to come back home from a cold workout in school. And then he found this madeleines baking and him dipping them in the tea. That was all he ate. That was all they could afford. And now Yale has taken it up to see how food and memory connects in association.
Conversation, but I mean, it's something that I think the world over, everybody has these memories that are deep-rooted that nobody even knows exist anymore. But you can walk past somebody wearing a perfume that reminded you of your mother or a grandparent, or a taste or a smell that happened when you were very young in age, and immediately you're taken straight back to that time. And I think that's a very special gift to have.
Good, thank you. Sumit,
Couple of questions.
over to you.
The floor. Couple of questions. Do we have time for a couple of questions? Yeah? Sure. Yeah.
I will try to be short and swift. We were perhaps talking about Ache? So we are perhaps discussing soft power. But what I understood from the august speakers, it seemed to me more like, adolescent art or a juvenile, not, I will not call it delinquency, but when we use the term soft power, is not a very, emotionally charged and hysterical reactions, or I'm not a good speaker, but the two words which are coming to my mind is, one is juvenile and one is adolescence. Sometimes we mistake it for being soft power. Soft power is not so soft. It's a very hard thing.
Yeah.
Thank you. I wouldn't use those words, but I see where you're coming from. So essentially, I think Anuparna used a phrase when you were speaking in the first round about creating a space, that you found a space for India in the heart of Venice. And I think that is a good metaphor for soft power, that creating a space for India, the idea of India, in the heart of a space that's not India, is a projection of soft power. And there is a distinction between creativity, creative economy, and soft power. Soft power is about a agglomeration of these things and using it for a community or a nation or, and influencing. So, a couple of months back, I was with my daughter in Paris. A Turkish taxi driver dropped us off. And as he was driving away, he started playing Mera Juta Hai Japani on his... and this has been around with India for ages. I think Javed Saab had said many, many years back that Bollywood, he used the word Bollywood, that Bollywood is... I think India had 22 states, and is India's 23rd state. So that projection of a space which is imaginative, which is made of films, food, art, culture, music, everything, that is soft power, I think. And I think India's soft power is massively underutilized. We have not harnessed it properly, especially when we look around our region, because in the previous panel, Anil, they were talking about how India's situation in South Asia is not as good as it was earlier. So I think we have to harness that. And unfortunately, the soft power of literature in Bengal is being played around like a football. So, and that is tragic.
Only one thing I want to not ask to know, because Sir said it's little juvenile and thing. What we do as an artist, as a filmmaker, we create a story, we tell a story, and we want to resonate so that it influences or it tells people that this is something which a filmmaker or a writer or a poet wants to talk to the audience. Like in Pink, I don't have a gun to tell that don't harass women, or I don't have that power. But I can make a film which, it's a promotional film, trust me, it's a propaganda film. We wanted to specifically tell people that no means no. If I don't agree, you have no right to touch me. So I think as far as my conscience, as far as my ability of understanding what is soft power, I think this is soft power. Without a gun, I'm not making you afraid. I am not telling you, don't do this. Because I don't have a gun. Or I'm not a minister, or I'm not a chief minister, or I'm a prime minister. I make a rule. But I can give a comment on my thoughts, or I can do something which might not influence you, but pursuing you. So that is, as far as I am concerned, that is my soft power. I mean...
Exactly.
But... which is, I don't think when I made Pink, I had any juvenile thoughts in my mind. I was very, very, very responsible what I am doing. But because I can tell you, if you give me half an hour, I can tell you everything I wrote in Pink. We wrote in Pink. Everything was taken from atmosphere. Every bit of those things were researched and taken from whatever happening around. Whatever film she made, I haven't seen the film. I just know the story in 2 lines which she told me right now. I am 100% sure she felt it and made it, and hence people resonated. Hence she got an award in Venice. And it's definitely not only for emotion. It comes from a responsibility and hardcore belief, and it was not juvenile.
And the bottom line is it's an Indian film. So that is the place that she's made for India on a world stage. So that is how it's a slow burn. It's not a cause and effect. Sambit, over to you.
All right, thank you. We have come to the conclusion of the panel. Thank you so much. Can we do the honors now, please? May I request, I can't find Dr. Harish Mehta to kindly come up to the stage, please, and do the honors, along with Mr. Aniruddha Lahiri. Ms. Lahiri and Dr. Mehta, please, to the stage. All right, yes. Your suggestion taken, sir. Please, ma'am, come up to the stage. The waiting. Yeah. So, there's no particular order. I mean, you can just go on. Just like this first. Yep.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Dr. Mehta to Mr. Kaneworthy, please.
To the lady.
ঠিক আছে So after this, we would conclude the day's proceedings with a valedictory address by Mr. Rudra Chatterjee, who is the Managing Director of Lakshmi Tea. So once the photo op is over, I would request Mr. Chatterjee to kindly come up to the stage and take over for his valedictory address.